still here. Wanted to do a quick video about this kit that I bought a couple months ago. So I think I got it in December. It's a deluxe starter bonsai grow kit. I got it on Amazon, and the company is called Homegrown Garden. I'll put their information in the link below. I did a bit of research on this because, you know, most home bonsai do-it-yourself stuff is just terrible and a waste of money. I apologize for any noise in the background from my animals or cockatoo. Anytime I start to make a video, they sense it, and the cockatoo likes to scream, so I'll be quick. It's a kit that comes with 4 different types of plants, bonsai trees to be specific. The one that I got came with, and you can pick, there's lots of different ones available. So the first one I got in the kit, this is the blue jacaranda. And I mean, they don't skimp out on the seeds, as you can see. They give you plenty. They don't just give you one and say best of luck to you. And then the crepe myrtle. These are so tiny. And then the hinoki cypress. There we go. And then, last but not least, the Chinese elm. And then they also provide you with a kelp nutrition pack. So that's a little bit of kelp for you to get started with your soil when you plant it. So, what am I going to be doing today? Well, today I'm going to introduce you to the kit, obviously. Show you what all it comes with, and I'm going to start the process. 3 of these have to be put through a stratification process, and basically what that means is, if you know, we weren't trying to do this, forced do this indoors by a person, and nature was able to do things the way she does things, then there would be a winterization process that the seeds go through before they start to sprout in the spring. So we need to mimic that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak each of these in room temperature water for 24 hours. After the 24 hours, I'm going to squeeze them, you know, out so they're not soaking wet. Then you're going to wrap them in a paper towel, damp paper towel, and put them in the refrigerator for probably 2 months, but you should start checking on them around 1 month, just to be safe. But 1 to 2 months is the, I guess, preferred and necessary time. The blue jacaranda has no stratification requirements, so we're going to go ahead and plant these today. I'm hoping for a lot of sprouts. I do well. I have a green thumb. I usually do well. But I think anybody who's ever done anything with a bonsai tree knows that that's a whole different ball of wax, especially when it comes to these sensitive type seeds. So I have pre-soaked one of the peat pellets. It comes with 4 of these really good size. I mean, it's amazing. These are not like the peat pellets you get, you know, at like Lowe's or Home Depot or Walmart. I soaked one of them because I'll need that for my blue jacaranda, but that's how much is 1 peat pellet. I mean, I still have to fluff it out. Now the instructions say each pellet needs 3/4 of warm water. I had to add an additional 1/4 cup because it didn't, 3/4 wasn't enough. So, you know, if you decide to try this, you may need a full cup, but that's not a big deal. I like how full these are, because normally the peat pellet things come with are not enough, and I just never bother using them, but I am going to use them this time. I'm not going to lie, I actually also intend on taking a couple of the seeds and planting them in a different type of soil, regular compost and topsoil mix, and see how it does as well. We'll see. These are the pots that they come with, and I was impressed. It's not little peat pots. They're a durable plastic. They have a bottom, and it's huge drain hole. I would recommend putting like a piece of screen down there. And then something else that's cool. I mean, they really seem to take care of their customers here. They have these markers, and it's not a little white plastic stick that we're supposed to write on with a permanent marker, and they are these nice wooden stakes. So that's pretty cool. So since we're gonna do the blue jacaranda today, what we'll do is we'll keep that one out, and then you write there with whatever pen you want what day you sowed it. So here we go. We'll set that aside. And we'll go ahead and we'll begin. Now, first we're gonna soak our seeds. The crepe myrtles are so tiny. You have to be extremely careful with those. And you will just gently, I put water in these little containers. They have a lid. Now, room temperature water, if you don't want to leave it sitting around for, a day for room temperature, you want anywhere between, like 70, 72. And it's important that you check your temperature, make sure your temperature's right. And I am right on the money. So we'll go ahead and we'll put the crepe myrtles in there. Now, it's important that you don't mix up your seeds either, so you'll have to make sure that you label what you have in each. If you have any trouble getting them out, I guess just use your finger. You've got to be really careful how you handle crepe myrtle seeds, because they react to any type of static electricity and will stick to you or an object. There we go. And it's just really important that we are careful with them. So there we go. That is our crepe myrtle. We'll put the lid on right away. That way, if there is an accident, at least the lid's on. So we'll put this with there. And then next up, we'll do the Chinese elm. These seeds are so pretty. I'll put them right on in there. And then right on in there. Okay. Now we will do the Hinoki cypress. And again, these only soak for 24 hours. And then we will, it's not wringing them out, but we'll sort of give them a gentle squeeze. Get rid of any excess. There he goes. Get rid of any excess, and then put them in the paper towel. And then from there, they'll enter the stratification process in the fridge, not freezer. You don't want it to freeze. The refrigerator for 30 to 60 days. We're probably looking at 60 days. 2 months is probably the case. And I will come back and do another video on the update on the blue jacaranda that we plant today, and then also do a video of planting those 3. So now we need to plant our blue jacaranda. So we'll put our soil in here. Now, if we follow the instructions, it says that we want to put the soil into the planters slightly and make 2 to 3 holes of a space between each hole, 2 to 3 inches apart. Now these holes don't exactly, and these pots don't exactly have that sort of space. So, and then with the blue jacaranda, they want you to plant it 1 inch below the surface. So what I recommend is, based on the number of seeds that you're planting, you just kind of try to do your best. And when they start germinating and they start making their appearance, you're going to have to thin them out anyway. You can't keep them all in the same pot. But we'll discuss that in a later video. So for today though, we'll put our soil in. And see, there he is. He knows I'm doing something that doesn't include him. He's a very jealous cockatoo. It also mentions pressing it, like pressing the soil in the planters with your fingers. Maybe that's a poorly way to word it. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Somebody might mistakenly like pack it down. You want your soil to be, you know, a bit fluffy, so that the air can properly get to your seeds. You don't want them to suffocate. They need to get proper ventilation and airflow. That's always so important. All right, so it looks like 1 peat pellet fits the pot perfectly. Thank you, Cusco. He's a Goffin cockatoo, and if anybody knows anything about cockatoos, they get very jealous. They like the attention to always be about them. All right, here we go. Now I feel like they gave me more of the blue jacaranda seeds than anything, which is great for many reasons. You know, number one, if they don't germinate. Now the kelp nutrition packet, you just want to sprinkle the tiniest amount when you plant your, you just want to put a little bit in the soil, not too much. Remember, this tiny amount is perfect to do all 4, and so we're only doing 1 right now, so just a pinch. And make sure you do it, or you know, everywhere, all the way around. Distribute it evenly. All right, let's take a look at our seeds here. If you have any broken seeds, chipped seeds, you know, seeds that don't look right, you know, like this right here. I'll show you. This is not a seed. That's a chip off of, you know, a piece of one. But this, that's a good seed. So let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like 10 really good ones and 2 broken ones. Oh, this one's in the shape of a heart. That's cute. We'll plant that one first. So we need to go about 1 inch. So you're looking at like the tip of your finger. Depending on how big your fingers are. So put that right down and you just poke it down a little bit, and don't go too far because they really have to, you know, they have to fight to get back up. And then we'll do, you want them to have a good space between each other. You don't want it crowded, and again, keep in mind, you only have so much space in these pots to work with. So even though it says 2 to 3 inches apart, it's not possible. If you did that, you'd maybe only be able to get 4 planted. But you're going to thin them out as soon as they start sprouting. So you want to put this in a room that stays warm, not too hot obviously, you know, but above 70 would be best. You know, if you do too cold, it won't do anything. They just won't break through. And then of course, a lot of indirect sunlight. You don't want too much sunlight. I know there's such thing. A lot of people are like, I didn't realize there's such thing. Yes, because then they never get a break, and they can't. They dry out, but they also can't. You know, they're just like any other person where they need rest. And if they're constantly putting out all their energy to grow, it won't do very good. So there, we've got them planted. The room that I'm in now is my dining room, and it's got the best indirect sunlight. So I'll probably put it over on my buffet and let, you know, her collect as much sunlight as she wants. Now, these guys, they say that they roughly have, we'll go to the jacaranda, the germination time is roughly 10 days to 3 months. Now that's a big window. So I'm thinking it may depend entirely on exactly how warm it is, how bright it is, what time of the year it is. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so it's not hot and it's not dry, but it's not freezing either. So it might be all right. I'm gonna put some, it's not required obviously, but it's definitely recommended. They always fare better that way if you put a little bit of saran wrap over them. Now, you do want to take it off once a day for a little while for ventilation. There we go. This will help keep the moisture in, which is really important. This is a picture of what we just planted, the blue jacaranda. She's really pretty. I'll tell you a little bit about her. She's a semi-evergreen or deciduous. She likes sandy and slightly acidic soil, and her hardiness zones are 9B to 11. So, and then that's the Chinese elm right there. And then we've got the crepe myrtle there. And the hinoki cypress. They're all really pretty, beautiful plants. So that's where we're at right now. I'll get everybody else put in the fridge tomorrow, and I'll see everybody again in 2 months to give you an update. I highly recommend you know, giving this company a try. Let's see here, Homegrown, their website is homegrown-garden.com. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. information about them there. And it looks like they're a lot more than bonsais. Like when I'm looking at this little sheet they gave me that opens up, it's got tips and tricks. It's a growing guide for everything from cauliflowers to lavender to radish to rosemary to tomatoes to wildflowers, arugula. I mean everything. So I would check them out. And then with your first order, they send you a discount card for 50% off your next one. So I'm kind of excited about it. I'll let you know how it goes. And as always, if you like our videos, go ahead and subscribe. Give us a like. We always appreciate it. As always, I'll win. And thanks.